play blasted those first two steps. You can kind of see here, 1, 2. So we have a nice little walk going here. It's working. Boom, boom, bang, bang. So we have a cycle. We don't really have anything going on with the head and neck, but the spine is dragging, and I think I did some compression on it, a little squash, but not much. But the arms are working, the legs are working, so we have a nice walk. So go ahead and kill that. So now we'll go ahead and start kind of fleshing it out and then finish it off. You notice I set the keyframes here, or the time slider here, to 16, not 17, because if it's 1 and then 17, it's the same frame, you'll get a skip. Right? So if I was to cycle it, it would actually skip, so you don't want to do that. Alright, so just select all. So make sure everything's keyed, S. Alright. So now let's see what we got. Looks pretty good. I think the shoulders need some work, so we'll go ahead and do that. So, you know, again, like I was talking about using the graph editor, sometimes I'll go in and then match things in the graph just to, like when his shoulders come up, like here, they feel a little bit like they're not coming up as much as they do like here. So when they're there, I might raise them up some. Then I'll look at the graph and see what's going on, how they flow from one key to the next. So let's do the stop channels. Those are the actual animation keys there, curves. So those are green, which is Y, and then I'll look at how they flow from one to the next. Comes up, down, and then up. So that doesn't really look good right there. They're not really coming up there. They kind of come back down a little too quick. So I would say, actually, yeah, here I missed a key. I didn't key it right. These should be up here because his body's coming down. Like that. So from here to there. And then they drop down there. So it's dropping down a little too much here, I think. Smooth that out because we don't want wobbles. So it curves smoothly. Okay, and then we'll make these guys transition evenly by making them linear, so they should flow right into each other. So if you look at the Y, it goes, see the angle here? This should match it, which it doesn't. It's not. It actually would still work. It's okay, but it's you know, if you want it to be exactly like, transition perfectly, then the angle of this curve needs to be kind of similar to that one. So you can fix that by taking this and something like that. Okay. Same here. That maybe. This is okay. So this actually goes up. It should continue the same direction. It's actually the opposite. So this is not good. 17, now it should be the same. This should be going up. That's correct. So here, check this one. Something like this. That, so now it kind of naturally, they blend together, and now, yeah, make sure these. There we go. So it should flow right into the next. Do the same thing with the other side. That's the one thing with doing cycles. It's kind of a pain. You got to make sure that they link up, because if they don't, then you get these weird pops. So here we have this Z. So it's coming down and blowing it out. Doesn't look like it's doing it. So these guys, if we bring these down like that, then it'll flow into it. Now this one, then we would make that flat so it tapers into it. So that probably means this one needs to come down. Like that. I want it to be nice and smooth. And that'll probably be like that. Okay. This comes up. So these shouldn't be flat. This should flow into the next thing. So this should either be higher or these should be lower. So that would be up. And these guys will be go like that. Down. Shoots up too quick here, so we'll bring it down some. I think this is supposed to be up more. That comes up, and then it comes down. There we go. It's a big jump right there. See that? That's a problem. That means something's looks like it's Z. Yeah. So we'll look at that Z. Actually, it might be the torso that's doing it. This looks messy. That this isn't really doing too much. We could probably just get away with doing this. And then flattening these. And then it'll just wave right in there. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so that's pretty good. Now let's look at the torso again. It looks like it's not quite twisting enough on this side compared to this side. So here, this should be like that, I think. Something like that. That should help. Something kind of goofy, which means it needs to be re-in-betweened in terms of like these guys. I'll just blow over this one and blow over this one, and it should transition pretty nicely. There we go. And then we have to look at these guys and make sure they do the same. Like that. And we do this. Transition there. So when in doubt, take it out. So if something looks weird, you don't know how to exactly fix it, just take it out. And redo it. This looks okay. All right. Pretty decent cycle going here. Nothing too fancy, but works. So now we can get into actually kind of changing things up I didn't put any overlap on the head and neck. That's pretty self-explanatory, so I won't get too much into it. So let's look at his entire spine. Delete my typeset channels. Okay, so now let's look. So as he's coming down there, he should be compressing, right? So here, where's the top of the arc? Yeah, right there. He's actually going to be more. We're going to get a little crazy with this. A little bit more like that. So with this guy, take that spine. Drag him over. Back. Copy that over to 17. So now we just totally changed the back, right? So we went from 1 to 9, 17. Oops. 1 is supposed to be 17. Spine. 1. 17. So now we have that hunched over kind of thing. He's leaning forward, but I want it to feel compressed when he's coming up. So when he comes down, we have room to really stretch him out some. So 1, 2. So here, go from here to there. You see it stretching now? It's compressed at the top, and it stretches a little bit. He starts to come up, it's going to start to compress again, like that. So I want to actually take his Z and bring him down some. I'm just going to do it on the top too. Should be, let's do 1, 2. Drag him forward a little bit. I'll do the same here. Comes up. Down, he's squashing. He comes down here. I have to actually do the spine. So we have up, stretch, catching up, squash. And it's going to start to actually come down a little bit there too. So this one up here, go down. I think his squash is pretty weak here. Let's look at his cog and make sure we got some evenness going here. All right, yeah. See, this is way too weak. We need to hit that harder. These guys need to be like this. So now that's a little bit more. Like this, kind of matching that curve. This one actually would probably be more like that one, so it has an even rhythm. Okay, so yeah. So now, that spine working. So here, so 1, 2, 2. So we're gonna straighten that back up. And a lot of times I'll look at it, maybe I overdid it, like from here to there. No, that actually looks good. But if I do, then I might take this frame and then slide it over and copy it there. So it might say take spine here. Like let's say I like this one better, and then middle mouse drag it over and hit S, and then take that and make that the key instead of the actual one that I did. So, but that looks good. Boom, bang. Any squashes there, and it should be coming up there. Actually, squash. Yeah, he's actually, they're squashing too much on the stride. So I'm going to bring him up some. Forward. Spine. S. Put that over. Okay, so that means I want more stretch on this one. See how it's kind of, I just go back and forth until I get what I want. Which means I have to adjust everything. That's okay. down, stretch, or squash, stretch, and then I want more. Well, that looks pretty good actually. Yeah. I want a little bit harder down on that spine. So get up here, squash. Okay, I want to hit this a little bit harder. That. And let's go for this one too. 1, 2, 3. Boom, boom. Let's drag him a little bit in here too. Just a smidgen. So he's kind of coming up here. We'll copy that over there. Alright. There we go. So now we have some overlap. Boom, boom. So now you have the upper body. Boom, boom. So now we have some nice overlap going on with the upper body. And then we can add the head and neck super easy now because it's just following the body. So, and actually a lot of times what I'll do too is I'll just take the head and neck and then delete it. So it's just, you know, totally follows the body. But I won't do that on this one. So this. I usually just straight ahead my way through it. So like there. Two, that actually looks pretty good. And here this is going to drag. Look at it from the front. So I have to delete that. So it goes from here to up. So there, I'll favor this one. 1, 2, boom, snap that. And then same here. We'll drag that, we'll snap that down here. Both. Okay, so now you can look at the head, neck, and again, static channel. So I'll look at each curve and look at the actual curve, see what it looks like. This looks messy to me. It looks like there's stuff in there I don't need. I don't want it to go up, down, up, down, up, down. I want it to be nice and smooth. It should, you know, flow from one to the next. So here, this should probably be something more like this. We need this one. So this should taper. I want this to flow into this, which means this might need to be down like that. So it kind of tapers in. Let's look at this one. So craziness here too. So this should flow into the next. It should, you know, it shouldn't be like wobbly like this. So this is the X, we'll look at this way, make sure we got the right angle. I think we need that one. That. I think we need to put that one over. Here. these guys are nice and transitioning well. So we'll look at this curve. Wobblies again. That's what you get when you straight ahead, but it's alright. Let's see what happens when we grab this and move up. Not much. Probably just delete that, call it a day. Now they'll flow smoother. Okay. Yep. And then Z, which is the this one, which is the granddaddy. So we gotta make sure these flow pretty good. Down, up, down, up. See, this doesn't look even to me, so it's probably something wrong here. These guys actually should be this. More like that. And this should fall like this. I know it's a little technical, but I kind of get anal with the curves here, so I want it to be perfect. Let's try that. Yep. Okay, that works. So now we have a walk. He's doing what he needs to do. So let's save this. Let's call this walk 1. Continue. Let's do a quick P blast here. Turn this guy off. Actually, we'll go to 16. We'll just play it first. Okay, we got a walk. So what I'll do actually to test this, I'll go ahead and scale this guy up to like 100 and select all. Grab all these keys, copy, and then paste over 17 with 1. Boom. And then do that again. Bang. Okay, so then we'll just grab this up to 47, not 40, or is that 48? Oh, it's 49. So up to 48. We go to play blast, and yeah. So now we have a walk. All right. Meow, 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 meow. There we go. Pretty good. The knees look a little funky, but his feet are a little far apart, or in terms of being wide, you know, or rotated out, but it works. So you have a nice overlappy walk. Back looks a little wobbly, but it's also because it's too fast. So anyway, now we checked it. It works as a walk. Nice, you know, strong poses, everything, right? So we'll Z back, get rid of these extras, and then bring this back to 17. Okay. And then we'll move on from here, and let me save this and start a new guy.